Very good morning children. Myself Astri sir. Today we will discuss your second chapter of your chemistry, that is the physical and chemical changes. Okay. As you know, in your everyday life you can observe various substances undergoing one type of change or the other. When the sun shines brightly, the snow on mountain peaks melts and changes into water, which is liquid water. The water in the ponds, seas, rivers, lakes evaporates due to sunshine and changes into water vapor. So these types of changes takes place continuously. Okay. Now, earlier we have already discussed the so many changes like desirable, undesirable, reversible, irreversible changes, physical and chemical changes, but now we will discuss only mainly two type of changes, that is physical and chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. Okay, in this chapter we will discuss these two changes. Okay, then what is a physical change? A physical change is a change in which no new substance is formed. Okay, and the chemical composition of the original substance is not altered or not changed. For example, dissolving common salt in water is a physical change. How? You know that very well, that when the salt solution, when salt is dissolved in water, it forms salt solution, and we can get back the salt by heating the salt solution in a dish, so that water vapor evaporates and the salt remains back in the dish. So this is the activity that explains the same thing. Understood? So you can go through in detail the China dish. You take some water and dissolve some common salt in it. Taste the solution, you will find it is salty. Now heat this salt solution until all the water evaporates. What happens? A white residue will left behind. Taste this, you will find that it is common salt, whose taste is salty. This proves that no new substance is formed by dissolving common salt in water. So dissolving common salt in water is a physical change. Okay, so there are certain characteristics what we will discuss now. The characteristics of physical changes. Generally what happens, the change is temporary as we discussed and can be reversed by changing the conditions. Clear? No new substance is formed. So there is no change in the mass of the substance undergoing a physical change. There is no change in the chemical composition of the original substance. Okay, and there may or may not be change in the physical properties. May or may not change in the physical properties. What are they? The state, the shape, the size and the color of the original substance. Understood? Another important point is you cannot find any significant change in the energy which is involved. So no significant change in energy is involved. Understood? So there are certain examples also given by the side box, like melting of wax, magnetization of iron, sublimation of iodine, evaporation of water, freezing of water, tearing of paper, precipitation in the form of rain and snow, breaking a piece of chalk, stretching a rubber band. All these are the examples of physical changes. The question will not ask that simply give some examples of physical change, but the question may come as melting of wax is a physical change. Why? So you have to write the change is temporary. By heating the wax it melts, but on cooling we are getting back the same wax. So it is temporary and can be reversed by changing the condition. No new substance is formed. No change in the chemical composition takes place. Understood? So these are the characteristics you have to mention. So what are the characteristics? All the 5 points what we discussed now, these are the characteristics of physical change what you have to remember. So there will be question as give reason for the examples. Okay. Now sublimation of iodine. Certain substances which changes from solid to gaseous state on heating without undergoing to its liquid state. That process is called sublimation. So we'll take an example. The activity is given. We will take the example as the camphor. So sublimation of camphor is a physical change. That activity is taken here. So you have taken so many apparatus like evaporation dish, funnel, wire gauze, tripod stand, camphor, cotton wool, a Bunsen burner, etc. So what is the procedure? Take camphor in an evaporating dish. Cover the evaporating dish by inverting a glass funnel. You can see the diagram. By the side it is given. Okay, this funnel is inverted and it is blocked or choked by a cotton wool. Why? If the camphor is heated, the gaseous camphor may go through this opening of the lower end of the funnel. So it has to be blocked, so that what happens on heating the camphor, see now on heat the camphor gently, on heating the camphor, white fumes are seen. These fumes then change back to solid camphor along the cooler part of the funnel as sublimate. The substance which gaseous state changes to solid state, that solid is called the sublimate, which is the camphor deposited at the cooler part of the funnel. Okay, so this can be removed and collect as solid camphor. Okay, this can be a pure camphor. So what is the conclusion? Camphor sublimes on heating. We can get back camphor from its vapor on cooling. So sublimation is a physical change. Understood? Or indirectly it may be asked, heating of camphor is a dash change. Heating of what you call ammonium chloride, which is a sublimating substance, is a physical change. Thank you, children. Next class we'll discuss about the chemical changes and the energy involved in the changes. Thank you.